starting with the War Decree, a cracking renewal of the War Decree. 380, Aotea Lad, Sherwood Forest. Then you've got Woodcote Lass at $4.80. Is the money starting to come for Sherwood Forest here, Stephen Hunt, or are there other runners that are being backed?
A little bit of both, to be honest, Jason. Look, they're slowly warming up on number 4, Sherwood Forest. I think the stable pretty keen they can turn the tables on Aotea Lad, 380 each of 2. Aotea Lad did open favourite during the week. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if Sherwood Forest held favouritism alone later on this afternoon, again from what I'm seeing multis-wise. But outside that, the Southerners believe they've got a decent chance in winning this race. It's just not as simple as the Northerners coming down and taking the prize money. Woodcote Lass in that third line, solid at 4.8. Chukka Luck, impressive maiden winner last out of the Pitman barn, well specced at longer odds, opened at $23, now trading at $14. And it's even come in from this morning when we were offering still $17. Sorceress has been well supported for Chris Johnson, 19 into 16. Bronte Beach, solid at 16, almost D-Day for her. And a little bit of specking around number 5, Lightning Jack, even though it's a maidener. The second dam, Jason, is the Avondale Cup winner in Creole. So you'd think stepping up in trip shouldn't be any dramas around Lightning Jack at $21. So even though they're pretty keen on the 2 Northerners, there is a bit of specking around the Southerners in that middle market.
It very much must be respected, that local money, and a big difference in those 2 Pitman runners, Chuckaluck and All About Magic, with regards to one holding its price and the other coming in. Woodcote Lass looks a potential leader on paper. Spoke with Dean Williams, and their inclination, Greg O'Connor, is to try and be positive with Sherwood Forest. So there might be a bit of speed from the wider drawn horses here.
Yeah, I think so. No doubt I think Woodcote Lass from that inside gate will be on the speed throughout, but Sherwood Forest has the advantage drawn inside Aotea Lad, and I can't see Troy Harris not taking advantage of that. We've got to go back and have a look at this. This is the key race, isn't it? The Hawke's Bay Guineas. When you consider the hot favourite for the Albasti Equiworld 2000 Guineas is not in it, neither's the runner-up. The 2 horses wide out, the Te Akau colours, of course, and that is Aotea Lad, and Sherwood Forest outside it. Watched the preview show with you guys on Thursday night, and you're absolutely right. Sherwood Forest cops a bump about 75 metres off the post, and I think was clearly going to run third. He ended up being nosed out to 5th. But on that performance and early in that race, how wide he was, I think he's absolutely the one to beat here, Jason. A lot of respect around Aotea Lad, had terrific 2-year-old form, placed him behind the likes of Probabeel, so that was at really top-class level. So there's no doubt that he deserves to be right amongst the favourites here. I did give Lightning Jack a chance. Gee, it was a run here last time. You're right, it's only a maiden, Stephen, but you don't go as well as that generally at stakes level, and he did. And the other one's clearly Woodcote Lass, because she's got the form on the board, but I'm happy to be on Sherwood Forest today.
It's a good race, and spoke also with Jamie Richards. He's happy with the trajectory that Aotea Lad is taking in his preparation as well, and Greg O'Connor will be discussing the chances of many of the South Island runners also leading into the War Decree. Okay, the 8th on the program, the market looks like this for the Copeland's Bakeries Mile Trial. $3.70 Kiwi Ida, $4.50 She's All Mine, $4.80 Sacred Day. What's the market telling you here, Stephen? Are you getting much action for Kiwi Ida, or are they just a little bit standoffish?
2 plays in this race, Jason. During the week, it was all about She's All Mine. $6 we opened third favourite. It got trimmed as short as $4.50 and held favouritism for the majority of yesterday, but a lot of money has been on Kiwi Ida this morning. Opened at $4 this morning, now travelling at $3.70, so a lot of action around Kiwi Ida and She's All Mine. Sacred Day would have to produce his best figures to be winning this race on a trip short of his best. So we're pretty keen to lay it to a degree Sacred Day today. $4 already out to 4.8 in that third line. A little bit of speaking for Remington. We heard Jamie Richards' thoughts around this particular runner, maybe going better than what it is on paper. Remington currently a losing result, 16 to 15. And our old mate Camino Ricoso, well specced, even though it's drifted 16 out to $18.
Is he in your Hall of Fame, Camino Ricoso?
Are the owners listening? No, he's pretty close to it, Jason. There's not a picture up on my wall currently in the office, but he's getting close.
Yes, he got a little bit back for those that backed him at Blenheim, but at times he has been very costly. How did you assess the 8th there, Greg O'Connor?
Yeah, good race. I said it on Sacred Day, and I take into account what quite a few of the locals have been telling me it'll get too far back and charge home, but you have to go on the trial form. Here's the speed. Ticket to Ride has been great since coming south. She's All Mine was very good here last time, but you've got to take into account it was at rating 72 level. Here's Sacred Day at the trials, and this is only over 1,000 metres. His last couple of 100 metres were quite exceptional, and look, he's a winner of the Grafton Cup at his last start. Sure, that was at 2,350 metres, but he has performed over the shorter course before. He's performed when he's been in fresh condition. Have a look at him under his own steam here. Ryan Elliott aboard that day, Troy Harris today. He's been a shortener, 26s into 12s for the Copeland's Mile. This is a $35,000 race. Whilst some might think it's going to be a trial, that's a decent stake, and have a look at him finding the line here over what is considerably shorter of his best at 1,000, 1,400 today. I'm expecting him to be hard to beat. Kiwi is clearly the one. She's in wonderful form. She does go up significantly in weight, 2.5 kilos, but she's in such great form with the claim, of course, of Cosiazano. She's All Mine, yes, and I was keen on He Can Fly last. I'm not prepared to completely drop him either, but Sacred Day is definitely the watch horse here today.
Yeah, sure is. This is the market for the 9th race, Christchurch Casino's Spring Classic Handicap. Diorissimo's at $4.50, D&G's at $6, $7.50 Galway Gary. Any leads here, Stephen? Found this a very tricky race.
Almost made number 5, Diorissimo, the best bat runner on the card, Jason. But as it stands at the moment, he can finish in that second line currently in terms of trading. $4.50, you could have got as high as $5.50 on Diorissimo with Sam Wynn doing the riding. He's clearly the best lead in front of D&G at $6. A couple they have left alone, one of them being Locanora at $8, and Galway Gary, the two stablemates, $6.50 out to 7.5. There's a few here chasing a New Zealand Cup berth that'll be wanting to lift their ratings, one of them being Chief Sequoia, 17 into 16 for the Marsh Barn, currently a losing liability, and King of the Dance, since at similar profile, looking to get a cup berth on a couple of rating points if it was managing to win this race. Number 11, the book, 19, got as high as 26, just back into 21, currently a losing liability, but your decent leaders, round number 5, the current favourite, and Diorissimo, 5.50 into 4.5.
Greg, I know that she's a horse that you've got a bit of time for, Diorissimo. Do you lob again?
Yeah, I do. You pointed out again on the show on Thursday night that she doesn't have a long sustained sprint, and she got presented quite early in the run last time. She still found the line, but yeah, she's a little bit more potent when you can just hold her up for that bit longer. And she is the one still to beat for mine. She's in wonderful form, and she's being presented beautifully by the Smiths. D&G, clearly a watch horse out of this race, gets held up long enough. This is worth $50,000, by the way, so it's a pretty good lead up to races like the Metropolitan, then into the Cup. So that's Diorissimo out wide there, and as you can see from the top of the straight here at Riccarton Park, was well and truly exposed, so probably just come to the end of it. Locanora was good. Whether he is good enough to win today with the 57 kilos, he goes up to 5 on his last start, so he was pretty brave here. You thought Diorissimo was just going to win. Have a look at D&G just getting out now and flashing at them, and of course she has form in all our very good staying races from last season, so a lot of respect around her. Jim Langham, by the way, the racing manager here, made D&G his bet of the day today, and she has a $21 chance in the New Zealand Cup. But yep, I'm with Diorissimo. Happy to see her get the right sort of run today. And just need to point out, Jason, there's quite a strong easterly blowing here at Riccarton Park. Not very often you come to Riccarton and there's not a wind. At this stage, horses will be exposed to it up the straight quite early, so horses getting a run in behind the leaders might be the spot to be. It is supposed to turn around to the northwest, and if that does unfold, I'll certainly update you on that. But it is something to take into account, along with where the rail is here today. We know that that can pose a problem for horses swooping from the back.
Yeah, looking forward to those updates. You'd love to know what the tactics on D&G will be today, whether they're prepared to maybe light the fuse and be a bit more positive from that inside draw. Okay, Greg, $100. How do you spend it?
Yeah, I've spread it a wee way around here at Riccarton Park today. I like Savvy Lad, a maiden. Very, very nice performance first up. Would only need to reproduce that and have a little bit more luck to be winning, so I'm happy to have a decent bet on it. I went each way Riviera Rock. I reckon the 750, 250, that's your money back for the day. Hasn't had much luck since a very good first up run here. Sherwood Forest is my absolute best bet of the day, and I think Sacred Day can win, even though it's getting the drifts now close to $5. But that's the way. I'm happy to spend the 100 today, and then I can park up and watch the magnificent occasion that is WS Cox Plate Day. Looking forward to that later on.
It's going to be outstanding. 10 races at Riccarton. Greg O'Connor hosting the first race there in 25 minutes at 5 minutes past 12.